Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Ottoman's Life. My name is Ali. Thanks for stopping by and seeing me mess around with some Lego. So I've been slowly transitioning my city over to the mill system, the modular integrated landscape system. But as I've been doing that, it's given me the chance to revisit some of my old MOCs and buildings, and really the opportunity then to improve them, make them better, revisit them, maybe destroy them completely. But now I thought it would be a great time to share this lovely, tall, ugly building that I put together, my white tower skyscraper, as I call it. I did some improvements to it since I originally built it, and I thought it'd be great just to share that with you. All right, I'll catch you after the break. So here it is in its all ugly, tall glory. I really wanted to have a skyscraper in the city, so I decided to create one myself. It's not the most prettiest building, but you know, every city does have a ugly building in their city, and this is my one. So the height is not too different, not too much shorter than what you can see on the Ninjago garden set, and it also gives the Daily Bugle a run for its money as well. In terms of sheer height, the sides of the building are a little bit ugly, and the intention is that they were meant. This is something going to be butted up against another building. However, I'm just thinking about that and wondering if that is the right approach for this big, massive, tall building. It might look a little bit weird, but having said that, you can see the Pac-Man building and the other hipster building next to the Bugle, and that was my intention to also build up and have it next to the White Tower building. But we'll see how that one progresses. But a couple of things that I did differently since I transitioned it over to the mills was I added another floor, another Lego floor. So we got two lovely floors of Lego shopping goodness. I improved the interior of the vinyl store that I've got here, and that was kind of my attempt at a sign for vinyl to show that that's the name of the store. And then we've got 2 floors dedicated to a science company, Octan in this case. And in this universe, Octan is an evil corporation doing some weird science experiments and lab experiments, and they've resided themselves in this unassuming White Tower building. And then right at the top is a little dojo that I thought would be really nice to utilize some of the old leftover Ninjago parts that I had. And this was really inspired by my son's love of Cobra Kai. So I really wanted to have a little dojo within the city itself. But the other major thing that I wanted to incorporate in this building was an elevator. It took me quite a while to figure this out, as a lot of Lego mathematics were involved, but to try and get the right plates and bricks space height between each of the stock bricks that I had in place. And I actually took the inspiration of this elevator to the where you can see in the Ninjago City elevator. So I kind of modeled it and got inspired by that, and then created one elevator here. I haven't put in all the the window panels yet. They're somewhere in my spare parts strewn around somewhere. I really need to organize my parts. But in essence, this was kind of what I really wanted to do, because I have this OCD that I need the minifigures to be able to get up floor by floor, either by stairs or by an elevator of some kind. So this kind of works in the same exact way as the Ninjago City does. It's just put the figure in there, and then you can stop it at any floor all the way. down. And the good thing about this is that if I take this off here, this whole thing actually does then come apart, so then you can open up the individual floors to play around in the interiors inside. So we'll pop it open, have a quick look at some of the interiors, just to give you an idea of what I've done here. So this whole elevator shaft frame just comes off by itself, and I kind of only connected it through these Technic brick holes in there, and connected it from there, and it gives a nice sturdy connection against there, and these jumper plates then just keeps it in position when I'm moving it around. But the most important thing was to keep this as a single frame structure, to keep the strength of it, so then it's easier than just to take off the floors as we want to. Okay, so if we start from the bottom and then we'll make ourselves go up. You know, I have to say, when I see the little modular floors like this, it's one of the things that I love about modular buildings, to be able to take each one off nice and neat and then play around and be curious of what's going on inside. I love that aspect of the modular building. Probably my biggest passion about them. But nonetheless, we start off on the ground floor, on the first floor, with the Lego store. And these were actually from Lego made themselves. These are the Lego store sets that we have, so I just repurposed them for this. I thought that's a great way to utilize them, and just tiled them up in a way that I had some spare parts of. So you got the usual stuff: pick a brick wall, some of the sets with the stickers on here, etc. And then you can see the display of the sets in the window, and then ultimately going up into here, more sets, another pad wall, and some other bricks into here. And I've kind of put some jumper plates all over the place, so some minifigures can actually just stand and shop, etc. And then we move over to the vinyl store. And there's a little DJ in there as well, playing the latest hit, so you can sing along. And obviously Emmett from the Lego movie is there, and everything's awesome for him. He's having a fun time. And then I decorated it with the video sets that came out, right? And all of those were the printed tiles that we got from that theme, and they were great. I knew I wanted to get them only for this MOC, to be able to have a record store and a vinyl store in here, and to be able to display them. I think they look really cool. And then from the window, I think I tried to put in more of those things, and also the stereo. I love that stereo part. I think it's awesome. And then Batman rocking away. I think that was from one of the minifigure series that came out. And my attempt at a brick-built vinyl player. And then moving up, this is now when we go into the science slab, and this floor I used the sets from parts from the Hidden Side theme. I love that theme. It's a shame that ended, a shame they haven't done a follow-up in that kind of similar horror vein, but they were great. And then I combined it with Jurassic World sets, and they had some great science parts and sets in there as well, so that was really good to combine all of that stuff together. And it just gives the idea that this is a science lab, and obviously this guy doesn't look like a scientist but some kind of villain in here, and he's obviously conducting an evil science plan coming up. And this here was supposed to be a portal, and I was going to put my Morbius figure in there, and it looks like the experiments with the bats and vampires were originated from this science lab. Moving up, this is the second floor of this, and this is accessed only by the ladder from here. So I just wanted to create here, and this is the kind of the dinosaur eggs that we've got going on. So this Octane company is doing some weird stuff and weird experiments. So that was another Jurassic World set that I kind of utilized and placed into here as part of the science lab. And then we move over to the dojo. And this was again from a Ninjago set. I think it's from a polybag as well. It was a very small set and the parts were great. So I really wanted to have a training area here where you can come in and practice and, you know, kick that thing around and have the traditional scrolls in here, a little bonsai tree sitting in the corner and in the window and the weapons. So this was meant to be an area where, you know, maybe Mr. Miyagi's dojo, who knows, but this was a nice little touch, and I think it's nice to have this at the top of the building to show the adventure of the Ninjago and Karate dojo. And then it's topped off by a my attempt at a roof, but I tried to utilize and add some texture into here as well. So, you know, putting this all back together, apart from being immensely satisfying, I was actually reflecting back on a lot of this when I was looking at when I was actually rebuilding it and adding the second floor and the elevator, and that was texture. You know, I think we're really spoiled by some of these sets that we see, that there's a lot of texture in the buildings, especially the official modular ones. And then with this kind of one, when I first built it, I mean, I built this a good number of years ago. I was just starting out with Lego really, and this was kind of my first MOC, a big scale MOC that I tried to construct up. And I just wanted to have a nice big tall building because space is premium, so I wanted to go taller. So the only kind of texture idea that I tried to put in was, you know, these studs and the bricks and in between, just to create something so it's just not a sharp white block of things. Although I do like the color white, I think it gives it a unique color. I mean, it could have been grey, but I think grey could have been really dull and boring. And I really wanted to have these kind of homemade signs on there, just to give something to it. But the idea is that this was always not meant to be standalone, because I think if you put this as a standalone, it just doesn't look that appealing. That's why I called it the white ugly building. And it was always meant to have buildings up against to it. So I'm going to show it in the city, and then just to give you an idea of how it does look like in the city, as opposed to just looking at it kind of standalone. So when you put it against the Daily Bugle, it actually doesn't look too bad. Because of the height, it makes a little bit of sense. Yes, there's a little bit of gap, but you can't really see the ugly side of things. And the fact that it's got that little bit of alleyway with the Daily Bugle, I think it kind of adds a little bit to the texture as well, and the depth of there. That building could also nicely go against, you know, this building here, my Pac-Man building and the hipster building. And my intention is also to grow that one a little bit higher as well. And I really wanted to have kind of a skyscraper district here. And of course, yes, one day I'll get the Avengers Tower when it comes down to a decent price. It's a little bit over my budget at the moment. But if we move across to this side, I think, yes, this side does look quite ugly with the bricks that are there. Could I fix them, make them more nice? Yeah, I'm sure one way or another I could, but it's probably not worth the hassle. And then what definitely I will put across here is another building, another skyscraper. Either it will be jutted up against to it, so it hides it all, or it will be like I've done with it's like what the official set for the Daily Bugle is like, and having that kind of little bit of an alleyway or gap between the two buildings. So it's always meant to go against the Daily Bugle for now, and that's where it's going to sit. And to be honest, I'm really happy now that I converted this to mills. It's a lot more solid now. I'm a lot more comfortable moving this around the city, but it's a nice addition to my skyscrapers that we're planning to have in the city. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed me having some passion for a boring white tower building. And hope it gave you some inspiration for some of your MOCs as well. And skyscrapers, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. For now, take care of yourselves. Peace and love. Ciao, ciao.